What's up, guys? It's D-Lo from the Stuff of Legend. I've got another video for you. I'm going to jump right into it so that we can get right to the discussion part of it. But I want to get your thoughts. You guys can clearly see from my thumbnail. Hopefully your brightness is up high enough you can see it, because I know some of these images are very, very dark and hard to see. So turn that brightness all the way up for this video, because what we're going to be looking at, the actual material that is online right now, is by nature very dark. So you're going to have to literally turn the brightness up in order to see it. Okay, so that's just a fair warning there. But let's cut over. First, we're going to take a look at this article, and then I'll show you guys the clips, or rather the video, the footage itself, and then we'll discuss. Okay, so first, let me go ahead and switch over. What's up, guys? D-Lo again from the Stuff of Legend, as you already know. My goodness, we've been waiting for a while now. Everyone's been clamoring, oh, what's Robert Pattinson's Batman going to look like? Is it going to be any good? A lot of people have been hearing rumor and word that it's going to be dark. What's it going to be based on? Is it going to be noir? Is it going to be noir inspired? But more importantly than that, and this is something that I talked about in a video I made the other day, where I was saying that, and you don't have to agree with this part to get what I'm trying, the message of what I'm going to say. So like I was saying the other day about Scott Adkins becoming Batman, and I think that's a great idea. I think we should do that in a martial arts style, because as far as genre films go, superhero films, comic book films translate very, very, very well into genre storytelling or genre style of filmmaking. And the reason being is because you can get fans of that genre on board with the movie, even if they're not particularly drawn into the character of the source material. So for instance, Joker was a character study, a very, very dark character study done about, mental health issues and all the issues surrounding that, social, political issues, things like that. But it drew in the comic book fans of the Joker very nicely, even though it was very different. A lot of originalist Joker fans might have had issue with some of the way it was portrayed, the ambiguity of whether or not he really is Joker, or whether it was just showing what it takes to break someone to the point that they become like the Joker, that kind of thing. And then there was also the conversation of, we really like this film because as a character study, it is brilliant. And that was one thing that was really big. Another example of something like this is like a spy espionage film, for instance, like The Winter Soldier, ended up being arguably one of the best, if not the best, MCU films so far. Winter Soldier is regarded as like the Dark Knight per se of Marvel films, and then the Dark Knight being a grounded, it's supposed to be like a realistic, real world, no superpowers take on DC Comics characters, Batman, Ra's al Ghul, Scarecrow, Bane, specifically choosing people that don't have superpowers outside of Ra's al Ghul coming back to life and them not talking about the Lazarus Pit. So they tried to take a real world approach with that, and it actually worked really, really well. People liked that. It was very like Last Samurai ninja type of feel, and people like that. What I have to say about what this Robert Pattinson's Batman is potentially going to be, before we get to the article, is very, very simply, Matt Reeves, the director, has said multiple times that it will be noir inspired, but his goal with it has always been he wants to create a Batman story about the greatest detective, or the world's greatest detective, because there hasn't really been any Batman live action that has shown us that Batman is the greatest detective. He is a detective, but he's not the world's greatest detective, because no film has tried to dive into a murder mystery or a whodunit or a Sherlock Holmes type of film. And that's what Matt Reeves is going for. So I'm really excited to see Robert Pattinson in this. Let's go ahead. Now that that's kind of out of the way, I think that genre style Batman is a really good thing. That's what I was saying about the Scott Adkins thing, but in the spirit of a martial arts film, like martial arts movies, like a Scott Adkins film, or what's the other one? Kickboxer Retaliation, or there's a number of different American-made martial arts films or European-made martial arts films that are a little bit more Western, but clearly, obviously inspired by Kung Fu films. That type of spirit, I think, would translate really, really nicely to a Batman storytelling, which is why I was saying that about Scott. This is not about Scott. What I wanted to show you was this really, really cool thing. People have been wondering about Robert Pattinson. Is it going to be good? I think it is because of that genre style, that detective style. So let me see. I'm not even showing you guys the stinking article. Okay, so you guys can now see the article. So here, if I scroll up, you got this. From Hollywood Reporter, you can see here, it says, the Batman offers for the first glimpse at Robert Pattinson in costume, meaning the Batman costume. And wow, guys, I've already seen it, so it's not like this is going to be like a reaction video. Oh, wow, it's not that. I'm just going to show you. It says here, filmmaker Matt Reeves has shared a camera test for the Warner Bros. Film. The first glimpse of Robert Pattinson as the Dark Knight has arrived, with filmmaker Matt Reeves sharing a camera test of Pattinson in costume for the Batman on Thursday afternoon, which is today. And it says, watch here or at the bottom of the post. The test was filmed by the Batman cinematographer Greg Fraser and features music from the film's composer Michael Giacchino. And then a bunch of unnecessary jargon we're going to skip. I'm going to click here. We're going to go to the thing. Check this out. All right. So I'm not going to make it big because I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, we need to take it down or whatever. I'm just going to play it from here. Keep it a little smaller so that it's harder to track if they're trying to keep that off of people's YouTubes. All right, so check this out. I don't think I've got any trailer audio coming through here. Let me know. But there's like a little bit of like slow build music coming through right now. And it's building up to this blurry shot. Check it out. And it's interesting because we don't usually get to see Batman with red. Red is not usually one of the color tones that we get with Batman. But in this case, red was the light chosen here. Look at that. Look at that logo. Do you see that? Holy cow. The chest logo looks super, super sick. The shoulder armor. Oh, man. I'm going to play this back a couple of times because I want you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about here. In fact, I might even open it up. Look at this. When he tilts his head up towards the light, his jaw is so freaking cut. I love that. That's one of the things about Robert Pattinson is that his jaw and chin and mouth are so freaking chiseled and defined. He's unmistakable, even from the mouth down, which is really, really cool. So let me see if I can do this, guys. I'm going to see if I can go here. Okay, this should open it up a little bit so we can hopefully see more of this. I'm going to go ahead and pause it when I get to the right spot. All right, so we're here. So do you guys see this chest piece right here? It's not one solid piece. In fact, it is an inlaid pair of objects. Looks like some sort of either weapon or utility tool, maybe grappling hooks. It could be, those could, they don't, to me, they look like they have clips. So like he can put them at his sides, but it looks like it's some sort of a, like blade. It actually looks like blades he might be holding to, like, engage in combat. Could end up being pretty brutal. Although it could also, those look like they're fold out triggers. Do you guys see right at the tip of my finger, that little wing right there? It looks like either that's a carving or it could be a pop out trigger in which he could fire off grappling rounds, so that he could swing from building to building, that sort of thing. Really cool stuff. I doubt that these are guns because, Batman's, not a big fan of guns traditionally, but, man, this looks really cool. I really like that they made that a tactical logo, not just a chest logo. I do love Batman's chest logo. I've got nothing against that, but this makes it really special, makes it really unique, and that's creative. That is really creative to make that the symbol right there. So I'm digging that a lot. Let's go ahead and keep playing it. We get a nice angle here that kind of shows that these two tools are actually they look asymmetrical. Like they look like, do you see the ridge on the top? Let me see if I can get my finger over there with that before it cuts off. Right at the top over here. You see that? like at the top hook, that one has kind of a sharper point, and the one on the other side doesn't. It's got kind of like a serrated or jagged edge to it, and the other one is just a point. So I'm not sure exactly if these two tools are supposed to connect together. Maybe it creates like a long range, scoping rifle of sorts, or a disabler, or maybe those are tasers. Who knows? But they do look like, I don't know. It's hard to tell if that ridge line is just because it's on the left side, and if you pull them both out and you point them directly straight, they're gonna both be on the same left side, so that when you lay them this way, one is on the outside, one is on the underside. You know what I mean? It could be. I don't know. I might be way overthinking this. Let me know what you guys have to say about that. I'm really liking the look here. So let's continue on. There is more I wanted to show you guys. So as he continues to turn, look at that. Did you guys catch that right there? His shoulder. Look at his shoulder. Do you see how his shoulder piece completely raises up as he shrugs his shoulder? That is a big deal. Like, one of my main complaints about Christian Bale's Batman was that it felt very stiff. Obviously, like, he didn't do a lot of neck turning, which is weird because he had the most neck out of every Batman so far. So very odd. With this, I like this because it shows that the plates are not together. Like, he does kind of like a shrug like this or something, like something like raise his shoulder. The chest piece stays here, and the shoulder comes up free of the other armor, which actually is going to provide a lot more mobility in combat. Look, see that? Totally independent. You can see that there are straps connecting the armor chest piece. Very realistic armor styling. It's not like a full cloth onesie. I'm sure there will be obviously cloth, and I've got nothing against that. That's perfectly fine. But the armor plates look really cool to me. I like the look of this here. Not to mention, it's going to be a hot cosplay item. People are going to cosplay the heck out of this because you can almost see like how you would make that. The cape is looking good so far from this side, but let's keep going. I love the shoulder movement, the ridges on the edge of the shoulder. And then look, he's got a bit of a collar around where the cape is. And I'm not sure if that is if that's part of the cape, like the cape actually has a collar, or if that is, part of the armoring coming up where the cape wraps around. It's likely the former. I'm sorry, the latter. It's likely the latter, where the cape wraps around. But nevertheless, that looks really good. I really do like that. Now let's take a look again. Let's focus in on his jaw. You'll notice that the Batman mask comes all the way up. Like Christian Bale's hugged right around the mouth area. This one is very, very different. In fact, it actually looks a lot like the Daredevil mask, and this is something that a lot of people online, including myself, when the news broke, I saw it. I messaged about it, and I mentioned that it reminded me of Netflix's Daredevil TV series, which is brilliant. It is super, super good, and which is a good thing in my book because they actually modeled the Daredevil series a lot after more of like a brutal Christian Bale's Batman. It felt like that, just brutal. And this, especially with the red lighting, it really looks and feels a lot like a caped Daredevil. Which I don't say in any way to talk down on it. Daredevil is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I greatly appreciate that show. It's masterfully made. The fight scenes are legendary. It's awesome. And I'm getting really excited for Robert Pattinson's Batman now, not only for the aspect of, hey guys, it's going to be a murder, not murder, but some form of a mystery that he has to solve as the world's greatest detective and focus on his ability and skills as a detective specifically. I'm excited about that first and foremost. Now I really like this suit so far. I'll show you guys the rest of the cowl in just a sec. But also, whether or not it was intentional, giving it that Daredevil Netflix look is it's doing a lot for me. I'm really, really liking this. So I want to hear your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments if you guys have thoughts about that. If you like the look so far, is the red lighting something that captivates your gaze? Does it capture your gaze, or are you a little bit like, that doesn't really feel right? You know, like I had someone mention to me that they didn't like the red lighting, and at first I didn't like it, but as soon as they showed the armor and then they got to the cowl, I was like, whoa, that actually looks really, really cool. And to be fair, we actually have no idea what the coloring of this suit is, because it's in a dark room with nothing but deep red lighting. It completely masks all the coloration of this bat suit, so we have no clue. I mean, for all we know, he could have the classic, like a kind of a classic bluey cowl with you know, he could have a blue cape and it be totally gray, like Adam West style, or like you know, that kind of thing. It could be colorized in a way we have no clue based on this footage, because the footage is blood red, all over, including his skin. So let's I want to watch this part as he tips his chin up, and he does look brooding. Look at his mouth right there. I mean, he's got that look down. Oh wait, right before it cuts out, you can see. Do you see like the nose area? This looks like an early Batman. Like, obviously we know that he's supposed to be a young Batman, an early Batman, which is what Matt Reeves said in interviews. It's supposed to be a younger Batman towards the beginning of his career. It's going to be a moment in Batman's life that creates that changes him in a way that he becomes the Batman we know and love, which is similar. I would say in a probably a different way. Obviously, I don't think he's going to try to recreate like something like BVS, but BVS did something most people are not aware of. It gave us the story of how Batman gets his moral code of no killing, no guns. Because he was very brutal in the comics, very, very brutal. And the original run of Batman by Bob Kane with the purple gloves and the Wolverine ears, that version did kill criminals fairly often. And not just big bad bosses, but like the thugs would be like looking out the window trying to find Batman. He would swoop in and just crack their neck, and then he'd just keep going. And it would show that it was cracked. The dude was just hanging there dead, and then he'd make a comment, and then he'd leave. And it was always kind of brutal like that. Eventually, the publishers and the editors decided to say, you know what, we don't want to go in this killing direction with Batman. Let's tone it back. And you know, then they eventually came to a compromise where he is capable of great darkness, but he has that moral code. So that was something that I thought was interesting. I know this sounds like I'm rambling here, but it's all to make a point. I think that, like how BVS showed us Batman before his moral code, I think there's going to be something in this Matt Reeves Batman that is not the way that we know Batman yet, but by the end of it, he will have determined to be the Batman that we know and love. Like, and it probably will have something to do with maybe his no guns policy, or maybe the no-kill rule. Now, the reason why I think it might not be the no-kill rule is because BVS already did that. Batman versus Superman already did that. So I think this one, especially being that his logo looks like it could be pistols, maybe he's going to use guns at first, and by the end of it realize he needs to be different than the criminals that he's fighting. And then comes to that determination the way that we know him now in the comics and in the animated series and everywhere. But look at this mask. Oh my gosh. We haven't seen the ears. We haven't seen any of that, but this mask looks really cool. I do like how on the edge of the nose, you can see that it was sewn. So this looks like some sort of a leather mask, probably on, and when I say leather, I don't mean like leather pants. I mean like a thick thick leather, like a biker's jacket leather. But this right here looks really cool. I'm really digging the shape. I'm digging the coming all the way back so it shows his jaw. That's gonna help when he gets mad. He's gonna he's gonna bite down and it's gonna be all like shredded here. I'm not shredded, but he's gonna be shredded. Look at his freaking jaw. You cut glass with that thing. It's crazy. So far this is looking really cool. When we can't see the ears right now, it does look a lot like Red Robin. You know, and I'm not talking about the restaurant. I mean Red Robin, which is Tim Drake all grown up. So Tim Drake Robin after he grows up, and like Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, Jason Todd becomes the Red Hood, Tim Drake becomes Red Robin, and it looks like a cowl like Batman's, but with no ears. So it's just the head, like just a cowl with no ears. And it looks like this. So right now, if you were to just show me that and not say anything, no announcement or whatever, I would have been like, they doing Red Robin? Because I would be like, I'd actually be really excited for that. I'd love that idea. Because, and again, Tim Drake is a better natural detective than Batman, but not a better detective because he has years and years of experience. So, but that's pretty cool. So I'm having fun with this. I really like this so far. Let me continue on just to the end. You catch the breath. I'll play this one more time right here. Coming in. I really like this shot. Dude, that looks so cool. I'm starting to think that those, if they're not blades and they're not some sort of taser or grappling hook, it's got to be maybe pistols of some sort. Even if they're rubber bullet rounds or something like that. I'm not even sure, but they do look like they could pop out and be pistols. And if they are pistols, then that makes me think that the movie's going to be about his no killing rule or no guns rule. Wow, that's pretty fun. I'm actually really, really amped for this film now. Are you guys excited for the Matt Reeves Batman, or I'm sorry, Matt Reeves The Batman with a THE, The Batman? That's the official title. I'm pretty pumped. I made a video not too long ago about the cast in total, so that you guys could see all of the different actors and characters that are listed confirmed right now for the project, and which only goes to continue to further support the idea that Matt Reeves has told us already, that he wants a detective whodunit, figure it out, Sherlock Holmesy style Batman movie that is going to show us why he's the greatest detective in the world. And the fact that they have like 5 villains at least in this movie is proof of that, because we're going to see the Penguin. We're going to probably see someone. They changed the name on the IMDb. I'm guessing that's because they don't want to tell people it's the Riddler, but it's totally the Riddler. So they've got Penguin, they've got Riddler, they have Catwoman, they have I'm forgetting who else was on there. There was like a district, not a district attorney, but someone running for mayor's office. And then another cop whose name I'm not familiar with from comic knowledge. So it's probably an original character for the film. But a lot of key characters means it's probably going to be like everyone's a suspect and he's got to figure out who did whatever the crime is or something. So I'm excited. I love these types of things. Murder mysteries are my favorite. I hope it is a murder mystery. That'd be awesome. And anyway, yeah, Phoenix PO Plastics has left a comment. It is 3 question marks, which tells me not a lot. So hopefully, I'm wondering if maybe you had a frozen screen or if there was no audio coming through. That'd be a total nightmare. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me, leave a comment or something so I can know you're hearing me. That's always my worst nightmare. as a content creator, is that I make a video about something, by the end of it there was no audio the whole way through and it's just hot trash and I got to scrap the whole thing. That has happened to me a number of times. Many of you guys who join me on the live streams have seen that, so apologize for those. Hopefully that's not this. But anyway, I had some images I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can cut over to this screen real quick, and I'll see if I can get you guys the images that I had pulled. And these are just stills, but Yeah, I think you'll probably still enjoy these. All right, there you go. So you can see here some of these images. I'll just leave those there while we talk. This is one. So you guys see the logo here. I actually cropped it, black and whited it. So if his suit is just straight gray or black and white or something, this is probably what it's going to look like, except for less grainy, obviously, because this is just a blown up screenshot. But I'm really digging what's going on with that logo. I was thinking, like, this whole time, I was like, what's that chest logo going to look like? Because every single one has changed it a little bit, so that you can market it your own way, and then it can have its own brand feel. This is clearly a brand feel, but it's more than that, because it's not just a logo. It's utility. This is clearly something that is going to come out during the film. I mean, they've got clips. So that's pretty cool. He's gonna like pop them on his hips and and use them later, tase someone or whatever. I don't know what those are gonna be. I can't even pretend. It doesn't look like a batarang, so to me that's kind of that looks obvious, but looks can always be deceiving. So I could eat my words on that one. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to. Let's just check back with this article real quick and read the remaining part that I kind of skimmed past. Pattinson was officially cast in the role in May 2019, and the Batman has been filming since January in London. Pattinson stars as Bruce Wayne Batman in the film for Reeves, who co-wrote the script with Mattson Tomlin. The cast, this is referring to the cast that we talked about earlier. The cast for the Batman also includes Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as Riddler, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, John Turturro as crime boss, that was the other one, Carmine Falcone, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, Andy Serkis as Alfred, Peter Sarsgaard as Gotham City DA. So I knew there was a DA in there somewhere, District Attorney. What's funny though is Peter Sarsgaard is mentioned as Gotham City DA. Gotham City DA isn't just anybody. Peter Sarsgaard looks like this. I bet you anything he's playing Two-Face. I bet you anything that this guy is not just Gotham City DA. I bet the city DA is Harvey Dent, and they haven't said that. They did the same thing over here. So like if I go what was it? Paul Dano the Batman. And then we look at maybe the cast here. So right now, I don't know where it's at. Maybe Wikipedia, it's pulling this information on the right from. It says he's playing the Riddler, which is interesting because I think that is an assertion, not a fact as of yet. But I agree. I believe it's the Riddler. But according to the IMDb for the Batman, let me see if I can go the Batman IMDb. Pardon me while I go ahead and type. I normally have these things prepped, but I'm kind of doing this part on the fly. So we scroll down. All right, so look, Colin Farrell's Oswald Cobblepot. You see that here. Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle, John Turturro, Carmine Falcone, which is a great cast, by the way. Paul Dano. Yeah, okay, so on the IMDb, it does say Edward Nashton, the Riddler. That was the thing I was saying. They changed the name a little bit. Nashton, not Nigma. And maybe he did that just so that it wouldn't be super like on the nose about how, the name does sound cheesy. Edward Nigma. It's Enigma. He's an enigma. He's the Riddler. I get that. If you want to change that, to me, that still kind of sucks because I like stuff to just be the way that it's supposed to be. But it's okay. It's not that big a deal as long as he's still the Riddler. You know what I mean? Because I care more about the Riddler than I do about Edward Nigma. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at. And so then, and a few other characters: Commissioner Pete Savage, Bella Real, and so who's this? Con O'Neill. This is someone I did not see. This guy's playing someone as well. Interesting. He's unlisted. That's funny. Okay. it's always funny to me when we, oh, and then Peter Sarsgaard is, oh no, never mind. He's playing Gil Coulson. Never mind. So Peter Sarsgaard is playing Gil Coulson, not Two-Face, apparently. Maybe Con O'Neill is playing Two-Face. I would love to see that. I'm excited to see a live-action Batman that actually shows multiple villains in this world. I mean, obviously, you have, the Dark Knight has multiple villains at once, but it's not like when you watch the animated series and there's like a get together, and I know what you're going to say. Animated series, you can do a lot more because it's animated. It's not, it doesn't cost that much to make, and you can literally draw in anybody you want and whatever. But with a live action, it's nice to see that Matt Reeves is going to town, just saying, you know what? It's Gotham. Crime is everywhere. Everyone is everywhere. But there's a crime. There's one specific thing that's going down. Let's figure out who's involved, who's to blame for this crime, this villain. Yes, I love it. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't really have a lot more after that. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Leave comments for me down below so I can get your thoughts, your feelings on this sick, savage, epic Batsuit. What do you think about this logo being more practical, actually being utility equipment that he can pop out and use? It's not just a symbol, it's actually tools. I think that's really creative. I think that's fun. Also, what do you think about the shoulder piece being able to move? Does the mobility mean a lot to you, or would you prefer it to be kind of like one solid piece, a little bit closer to like the Batfleck design? Or, and what do you feel about the cape, the mask? I want to hear it all, guys. Talk to me. Let's break it down. Let's chew it up. And I appreciate all of you guys. So anyways, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. First, you guys are the best. So many of you guys have been heading over to the link in my description below and buying merch. I really appreciate it. It's going to allow me to continue for paying for my Adobe suite, paying for my Google. I now have to pay, for the online space as well, so I can do the summits. I'm working on one right now. It's going really well. If you're a nerd, if you've got a nerd channel, and you're like, Comic Man Jake, AJ Reacts 2, Nerdy Blurb TV, any of the guys out there that are making content for the fans about nerd stuff, hit me up if you want to be part of the Fan Casting Summit. It's really, really easy to participate. It literally takes probably, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes at most for you. And it's not according to my schedule or whatever. It's just as long as you get your pictures and stuff into me by the 20th, I want you involved. And if you're a fan of Much Fiction, as is promoted in my merch, you're going to like the designs I've got rolling on my TeePublic account right now. So please support the channel by either buying yourself some sick merch. I've got new designs uploading all the time, so check that out. And there's also free ways to support me as well. If you want to support me but you don't have the money, that's totally fine. The free ways to support my channel are listed right up here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Those 4 things are going to help me out tremendously. I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of these live videos, for watching and sharing your thoughts. Thank you guys. I'll never stop thanking you. I really appreciate it. And it's the best thing for me, if you want to grow my channel, is subscribe. But if you want to make my day, leave comments, because that's what I like to do. I like to talk with you guys about this kind of stuff. So you guys rock. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please give this video a big thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button. Smash the subscribe button. Also, be sure to turn on notifications so that you can be alerted right away when I go live next time. That way you won't miss a single thing. Anyways, thank you guys. You rock. And I'll see you guys next time right here on The Stuff of Legend. Batman out. Hey guys, D-Lo here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And remember to share this video with all of your nerd friends. I know you got them, and you know who they are. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about this discussion. Let me know what you would like to see me do a video on next. Subscribe to the channel because you're a legend, and we have that in common. Also be sure to turn on notifications to be notified right away when I upload my next video. or so that you can be alerted when I go live next time. That way you'll never miss a thing. Check out the other videos on the channel so that we can have a discussion on all your favorite movies and TV topics. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more right here on The Stuff of Legend.